Hi, I'm Amy from Cakes with Faces, and today is all about collecting souvenir stamps in Japan. I mean rubber stamps with ink, not postage stamps. That's a different kind of stamp collecting. Collecting stamps is a really fun thing to do on your trip. It's free and it makes a great souvenir. I'm going to go through which places have stamps, how to find them, stamp books, some related things like stamp rallies and Goshuin, and then at the end there'll be a look through my stamp book. So lots of places in Japan have a souvenir stamp, including stations, tourist attractions, and some shops, especially if there's a special promotion or a campaign like for a particular character. You'll see a small table or a booth with a stamp and an ink pad, and anyone's welcome to just go up and stamp whatever you want as a souvenir. It's a bit like proof that you've been there because you can only get that stamp at that one location. So it's a little souvenir of your time there. It's completely free, there's no charge, and they're not usually manned by staff, so you can just go up freely and do your stamp. As you go around Japan, you might not see that many at first, but once you start noticing them, there are actually quite a lot. You can stamp anything you like, but it makes a really nice souvenir if you collect them in a stamp book. I would recommend getting a book. Previously, I've just collected them on any scraps of paper I had in my bag, like my Japanning notes or printouts or leaflets, but I usually ended up losing them. So it's much nicer to collect them all together in a book. Sometimes they put out special paper or cards for you to stamp. They don't always have that. Or if you do scrapbooking or journaling, you could take a pad with you with removable sheets so you can stick them in your scrapbook. I did used to enjoy doing scrapbooks before I started Cakes with Faces, my business, when I had a lot more free time. I get a lot of questions about my stamp book. It's from Neko Neko Post, which is run by Sharla in Japan and her friend Ushka. I ordered it online and they sent it to the UK. It came with this pouch and a little card that has phrases on, so you can ask where to find stamps. You can also get one from Rainbow Holic, who has an online shop and the cutest stationery shop in Tokyo. I'll have a video coming up about it. It's in Jujo Ginza, which you can get to really quickly on the train from Ikebukuro. And there's this original Eki stamp book. Eki means station, so station stamps. This one was originally published in 1972 and it's still being printed today. You can get that one from Kinokuniya in Shinjuku in the travel section, or from other large bookshops, although it might be a bit tricky to find. Really, any A6 postcard size notebook with plain paper would be good. About 4 by 6 inches, that's about the size you want. What makes it really special is you build up a collection that's unique to you of all the places you chose to visit. Next, where to find stamps and what to look for. We're going to start off with station stamps. There isn't really a general consistent rule about where to find them. Sometimes they'll be near the ticket machines, sometimes in the ticket office, or sometimes near one of the exits. For example, at Shibuya Station, they're in the Midori no Madoguchi, which means green window. That's the JR ticket office where you'll find the ticket machines and the counter where you can buy tickets and make seat reservations. And at the new Harajuku Station, they're over by the lockers. They also had free colouring in sheets of the station and the trains. There are a few stations that don't have stamps, but most of them do, and that includes the metro and regular overground trains. There's a list of locations on stamp.funakia.com. It is a bit of a spoiler though, it shows you what each stamp looks like, so that does kind of ruin the surprise. The designs reflect something about the local area. I really like how regional things are so valued in Japan, with all the local souvenirs and regional specialities. So for example, the stamp for Ueno Station has a panda on it because they have the giant pandas at Ueno Zoo. And Nippori Station has cats, just like all the cat motifs in Yanaka Ginza. In 2020, JR East redesigned all their station stamps, including 78 stations around Tokyo. The designs feature the kanji from the place name, decorated with buildings and local motifs. I found that some of their stations in Tokyo had the new stamp and the old stamp, and some of them also had an extra stamp if they have a local mascot or something special in the area. Like this one in Sugamo, they had a stamp for their duck mascot Sugamon. It can get quite a squeeze fitting them all on one page in your stamp book. So as well as stations, you can also find stamps at tourist information centres, tourist attractions and museums. When I went to the Beppu Hells in Kyushu Goshuin, which is a series of really unusual hot springs where you visit each one around the town. I've got a video about it. There was a stamp at each one that you could collect. Each of the 7 bathhouses at Kinosaki Onsen has a stamp outside for you to collect. And at Tsutenkaku Tower in Osaka, around the observation deck, there are plinths with stamps. If you're driving, roadside service stations, Michi no Eki, have stamps. And I've also seen them in some shops. Rainbow Holic, the stationery shop I mentioned earlier, has a really cute one. And I got this one from Kiddieland in Harajuku. They had a special display about Chiikawa. You can start your collection as soon as you get to Japan because even the airports have stamps. Haneda Airport has one at the information counter and Narita Airport has one at the Tourist Information Centre. They don't always have a lot of ink, it varies, but they're mostly not too bad. And I think it's kind of amazing that no one steals them, especially when they're just outside and no one's watching them. It's a real testament to Japan's culture of trust and low crime rates. I'm sure it would be a different story if they were in England. And I also came across a couple of really chunky stamp machines. This one's in Arashiyama at the Sagano Romantic Train Ticket Office, and this one's in Uji, which is also near Kyoto. They're really heavy duty. Even though it's just a small thing, it was always exciting to spot a new stamp and add it to my collection. I really like how the designs celebrate what's special about each place. It's part of Japanese culture to value that. And somehow, because you can only get the stamp in that one location, stamping it seems to capture the impermanence of that temporary moment, which is a really Japanese thing. So if you want to ask the staff where the stamp is, you can say "Stampu wa doko desu ka?" Where is the stamp? And if you want to ask if there is a stamp, you can say "Stampu ga arimasu ka?" Is there a stamp? If you get the book from Neko Neko Post, it comes with a little card with those phrases on as a reminder. It's also got them written in Japanese, so you could even just show the staff if you don't feel confident saying them. Last time, I just collected whatever stamps I saw as I was going around. With filming and everything, I didn't really have time to look for them or ask people where they were, and I collected about 25 in 2 weeks. So if you really seek them out and ask people where they are, you could probably find a lot more. Something else to look out for is stamp rallies, where you go around and collect special stamps from a list of locations. They might be stations or shops or cafes. One time I saw a Gudetama stamp rally in Kyoto. It was so cute. I love Gudetama. There isn't really a single place to find out about stamp rallies. They're limited time and they come and go, so keep a lookout and you might come across one. Sometimes there are digital stamp rallies where you scan QR codes with your phone to collect virtual stamps. Like this one I saw at a tram station in Sugamo. Somehow they seem a bit less fun because you don't get anything physical to keep, but it's still something to collect. Sometimes you get a small prize if you complete the stamp rally. It can be a bit tricky to figure it out because they're usually only in Japanese, but there's nothing to stop you just collecting some of the stamps for fun, even if you don't do the whole rally. Something else kind of related is Hanko stamps, which people who live in Japan use like a signature. You have your own unique stamp that you use to sign documents and forms. Something I regret not buying is my own Hanko stamp from this shop in Yanaka Ginza in Tokyo. They had so many cute designs with cute animals and things that they add your name to and make up your own custom Hanko stamp. You can also get off-the-shelf rubber stamps with cute designs from stationery shops. They've got a lot of really cute tiny ones on the stationery floor of hands, formerly known as Tokyu hands. Something I haven't explored myself is stamps at the post office, which I believe has local regional stamps. I think you have to buy something and then the person at the counter stamps it for you. They also have regional postcards you can buy called gotochi in cutout shapes with really cute designs. I haven't really ventured into the world of Japanese post offices, which is funny because I go to my local one in England every day to post orders from my shop. So if you know about these things, please tell us in the comments. Something else related is Goshuin, which are similar to souvenir stamps, but they're from temples and shrines to commemorate your visit. They stamp it for you and decorate them with calligraphy and brushwork so they look like a little work of art. You do have to pay for them as a donation to the temple or shrine of about 300 or 500 yen. You can buy a book to collect your Goshuin called a Goshuin cho. They're often folded like an accordion and you collect one on each page. There are some really lovely ones. It makes a beautiful collection. You can buy Goshuin cho from temples and shrines, maybe when you collect your first Goshuin. They're about 2,000 yen, fancier ones might be more, and you can also get them from stationery shops. My favourite Togo shrine in Harajuku, because it's the home of kawaii, has a really cute Hello Kitty Goshuin cho. They also have a stamp like Hello Kitty's bow, and they have good luck charms and amulets with Sanrio characters. So to get your Goshuin, first you'll need to find the Goshuin desk. It might be near the stall where they sell amulets and charms. If you can't find it, you can ask Goshuin wa doko desu ka? Where is the Goshuin place? Present your book with the next blank page open and you can say onegai shimasu, please, to be polite. If there's multiple designs, you can gesture to show which one you want. They might draw it for you right there while you wait, or they might give you a ticket to come back later if it's busy. And you'll need to make your donation. It'll say how much. It's okay for tourists to collect Goshuin, but just remember to be respectful because it is a religious place. It's not like collecting a free stamp from Shinjuku Station. If you don't have a Goshuin book, they'll do it on a piece of paper for you. Don't give them just any old notebook you have or a scrap of paper. That would be a faux pas. And don't collect regular souvenir stamps in your Goshuin book because they have religious significance that would be disrespectful. The Goshuin is like proof of your pilgrimage to that place. Sometimes they have seasonal Goshuin designs on special paper for things like cherry blossom season or festivals. Ariel.land on Instagram sometimes posts roundups of seasonal Goshuin they've collected, and some of them are so pretty. I'd recommend their page anyway for beautiful Japan pictures and for getting ideas of places to go. And there's lots of really nice ones on Goshuin_adventures too. So I hope you found that interesting. Tell me in the comments if you've ever collected stamps in Japan or Goshuin, and tell me if you've discovered the mysteries of the Japanese post office and if it's somewhere that I should go. I'll be back soon with more Japan travel videos on Thursdays. I've got one coming up about how expensive things are in Japan, and there'll be more from Japan news. So I'll leave you with a look through my stamp book and I'll see you soon. Bye bye!